Yo, my method for my musical madness, move and motivate those with musical talents. Beat it in roll print, we holding it down. Lick a shot, hip hop when we in your town. Master blast the sound, freak the future funk from here and now with style. Release and reach the peace, bubble with the beats. They feeling the heat in the streets. Now each one, teach one, each one, young none on one. Listen to the warriors run. Beating up the block with the ghetto hop that knock and make you wanna crash the spot and unlock, explode. The alpha and the mega cold with drum rolls and old soul we uphold and foretold your scores of 6 years ago. Fast flow from G-rap to cool mode, super syllable, maybe with the minimal. Every individual bounce to the tempo, yo. Lungs collapsing, raps we trapped in. The only way to make it happen, jaw japping fast.
Yo, I'm the hot dog, the runner, hottest monologue install, poetic inserts, and yes, y'all. My speech is like holding 2 blocks of beats. The outreach that rock police, the super Avenger member, tenor for something, adventure swimmer, rewrite the Emmy when they get hype. I'm mini printer, and I came to get it, hit it like Operation Push, operate the touch, black octopus, the soul, and in a terror trying to patrol, a planet my goal, and lo and behold, it's the rubber dog, ready to rock, don't stop, hops, I knock like the lumberjack chop chop. The wordsmith, I write block letters, a curse with circus, service, surface, and watch how the brother get over, the fly casting over with the frankincense odor.
The right move, reverse to see mercy with the king, Asiatic and Percy P. They heard the worst of me, up to your chest, 3D, spit venom and burn your body like a STD.
Put a 20 on the next brother, stepping to me wrong. I mess around and make it G my theme song. This might seem wrong, but this is a mean song. Crushed like King Kong, it's just like ping pong. Back and forth, I spit mile and toss. It's time to floss. My verbal affirmation is to always go off. When syllables slide, you'll be enjoying the vibe. When consider it pride and J5. With another deadly camera action, yo, we heavy, aim steady, slash machete, Maserati, engine ready, giving plenty, don't be petty, count confetti, and we jetty. On to another city, what we do our nitty gritty. We wild like Serengeti, terror down like Stephen Zeddy. Get ready for the ride, verbally hang glide, right and stay tied. Missions inside, murdering worldwide, the stage and show me.
Hi, I'm Tony Hawk, pro skater. I've been skating the last 22 years of my life, the last 18 as a professional. And the question I get asked most often is, how do you learn to skate? What are the basics? Well, we're here to take you through them with the help of some other pro skaters. And we want to get you started with all the basics of skating. So let's start skating. All right, let's talk about the basics of street skating. We want to take you through the elusive ollie and 180s and pop shove-its.
And once we've taken you through the ollies, the 180s, and the shove-its, we're going to teach you kick flips and heel flips.
So let's get started. Let's go street skating. The most important trick you're going to learn in skating is the ollie. And the ollie is the act of jumping up, using only your feet and bringing the board up with you without grabbing it. The key elements to the ollie are timing, 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 and your weight distribution and your foot placement. So basically what you want to do is kick down on your back foot so that just snaps the tail down, and as your board comes up, you slide your front foot forward in a rolling motion. That'll bring it level up to your feet. You're in the air, your knees are bent, and you land it with all 4 wheels. All right, once you're pretty confident with your ollies, we can talk about 180 ollies. And 180 ollies is basically half a turn with your body and your board in the air as you ollie. One of the first ways to learn it is by doing it front side. Front side means you're turning towards your front heel, and you can see the ollie the whole way around. Basically, you're winding up your shoulders and ollieing, and as you ollie, your lower body will follow your shoulders. And as you come around, if you're not turned completely, you can kind of use your feet to adjust that and land on your front wheels first and just sort of drive it around.
Backside 180 is basically the same thing, but you're turning your shoulder the other way, going the blind. And same, if you're not around the whole way, you can use your front feet, land, pivot around, you've got 180s.
And it doesn't necessarily mean one's easier than the other. I've seen people learn one before the other. It just depends on what you're comfortable with. Just basically try both, see which one feels better. Let's go. The biggest step in skating a mini ramp is trying to figure out how to drop in on it. And it may look scary when you're first up here, but we're going to show you the safest way to go about it. So let's do it. One thing you want to remember with dropping in is to make sure you put your weight on your front foot as you go down. If you hesitate, that's when you get in trouble. So just make sure you put your foot in the right place, right over the bolts, and commit to it. Drop in, go, don't hesitate. As your front wheels touch down, your weight shifts to your front leg, and as you descend, you want to even out that weight and absorb the transition with your knees. If you happen to fall because your weight is too far forward or backwards, compensate on the next attempt so that you stay centered over your board. Biggest mistake with dropping in is to hesitate and not put your weight on the front foot. And Chris, you want to demonstrate that for us?
No, actually, no. Why don't you do it? Why don't you take the slam for once?
Okay, here's what not to do when dropping in. Once you put your foot down, make sure your weight's on it. Otherwise, you're gonna go like this. So make sure that your weight's on your front foot as you go down.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is my profound pleasure to introduce...
Roll one, scene one, take one, action.
Hello, my name is Tony Hawk. I'm a professional vert skater and occasional street hobbyist. This tour was my brainchild, and I take full responsibility.
Are you surprised at the growth that you've seen over the years?
Yeah, very surprised. I can't believe how far skating's come in the last few years. This many people show up, it just shows that skateboarding's here to stay.
10, 15 years ago, it wasn't even a sport, it was kind of more of a hobby. Talk about, I mean, the X Games. Obviously, you're traveling like a rock star here. I mean, did you ever, in your wild dreams, imagine being this big?
No, you know, we only hope that we could actually do it as a career instead of having to supplement, you know, our income with something else while still trying to find time to skate. So it's awesome. It's amazing. was pretty much like, you know, NBA Finals or something where it's, you know, holding up signs of favorite guys and everyone's cheering. Bus just keeps going. I think the tour is hugely successful and much more than I ever thought it would be.
It's still about going to the skate parks and meeting the kids and skateboarding and showing them what you got.
It's way more than I ever expected, and I'm having too much fun. The drives were super long, but they just seem like a blur because the crew is just always energetic.
Life on the road rules. Small road, give it to me.
The crowds were amazing. Skating was all time. This is what I've dreamed, to have skateboarding get to this level. I've held up this far, and I think I can keep going. I'm ready. I'll just sleep on the bus. The next two stops, Wilmington and Providence, are gonna go off. There are super excited crowds there, and I've heard Providence, they're already having to turn people away, and we're not even there yet. You can't keep up with the bus, you're left behind. As most of you know, I'm mainly a vert guy who dabbles in the street. So when it comes time for the technical stuff, I decided to get a little help from one of the best. So, for your viewing pleasure, 2000-2001 Skateboarder of the Year, X Games Street Gold Medalist, and #1 Lakers fan, Eric Costin. Hi,
Hi,
Eric.
Tony.
Thanks for coming.
Is this what you do on your days off?
Yeah, but thanks
Cool.
for joining me.
Hey, I got a little time on my hands.
All right. Are you ready to teach some tricks? Because we got a lot to cover.
Yep, I'm ready. You guys ready?
All right, let's go.
Okay.
All right, backside 180 heel flips. You're gonna want, I can't even do it. I'm gonna let Eric explain it because
I'll try
I've
my
tried.
best.
But are they like backside 180 kick flips?
Yeah, it's basically the same concept as a backside flip. The only difference is you're doing it with a heel flip. Same concept. All you want to do is land it though, like the rest of these tricks, because All you do, okay. Okay, well, Tony, you're just gonna wanna, well, Tony, what you're gonna wanna do is practice backside 180s and heel flips, just like we were talking about backside 180 kick flips. It's the same concept. You're gonna combine the two. You're gonna be patient, you're gonna land, and it's gonna be fun times.
I'm gonna watch. See how Eric sets up his front foot in the middle of his board with his toes hanging off and his back foot at the tip of his tail. As he ollies, he slides his front foot forward while rolling his ankle towards his toes. The key is getting high enough to spin the board and complete the turn, which is my main problem. He catches it with his back foot and then sets his front wheels down.
Not all skateboarding is done on the actual skateboard. One fun part of skateboarding, especially on the vert and the mini ramps, is the knee slide. And I don't think the knee slide gets enough credit. And there's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say, and there's more than one way to knee slide. I think knee sliding could possibly be its own sport, but just throw a little something in your knee slides, spice it up a little. If you watch any old videos of Christian Assoy, you'll see extra style points of him when he knee slides. You know, just sort of soul grab, and then kind of shake it out. You know, so just have fun with it.
Well, here we are, ollies on ramps. I think just as in street, ollie is probably the most important trick you can learn on a ramp.
Definitely.
And it's a different technique actually on a ramp. I mean, there are vert skaters and ramp skaters that can't even really do ollies on the street because they've learned this technique, how to do it on vert, how to do it off walls. It's a different way to balance, a different way to take off, but it's pretty much the fundamental to every other air trick and even some of the lip tricks. So.
It's essential to say the least, and our super assistant Riley here is going to demonstrate the deluxe ollie for us. Frontside? You going frontside?
He's offering his skills.
He's got the frontside ollies unlocked.
Let's take it down to the ramp and show him how to do it on the wall first, and then Riley will show you exactly how to do it perfectly.
Here I come.
Approach the wall at a slight angle with as much speed as you feel comfortable. Start to ollie just before you reach the top of your turn by throwing your arms up and swinging your lead shoulder towards the bottom of the ramp. Keep your upper body centered over your board while airborne, and make sure to complete the turn before landing to avoid slamming onto your hip. Lean forward as your board lands on the wall and continue to keep your weight centered as you ride back down because the unexpected slams will get you. Practice it low, work your way up.
And remember your 3 S's, Shred Dogs. Snap, slide, stick.
Scene 1, take 3.
Hello, my name is Tony Hawk. I am a professional skateboarder, and this is the Gigantic Skate Park Tour 2001, global style.
One, two, three, four, hit!
I think I found some shrimp marinara.
I think we have the perfect crew for Europe. Most of the guys that are here because they gave up their time last year to go on the US tour, and I was just trying to say thanks for believing in it, and here's another opportunity.
You're back on the Hawk Tour.
The Cinderella story. It's my favorite time of the year. I look forward to it. It used to be like when I was little, Christmas and birthdays. Now it's like the Tony Hawk Tour's coming up.
We don't really have too many limits in the US when we're traveling, but here it's just like anything goes. Hardly anyone speaks the language. We're not as recognizable, obviously, and so it's just like people going crazy. We are the ugly Americans on tour, for sure.
I'm more paranoid here. In America, I can't go wrong. They love me. Here, I'm like, don't push it, Ellis. Don't like get too cocky with anybody.
First thing though is when in Rome, do as the Romans do, and I threw my deodorant out. No deodorant this whole trip. So go Euro style.
Well, the biggest skate scenes in Europe are in the UK, in France, and in Germany. So we're hitting all three. I think we're gonna skate as hard as we ever have. We don't really get to go to Europe that much.
Coming up on your right-hand side, we have the Conquered Bridge. This bridge was conquered by some people who were from France. And it was a big war, and a lot of people got punched in the face, but it's cool. Everybody's okay now.
Whenever we're at a demo or whatever, there's always 100 kids yelling, "Do jackass," and I don't really know what that means.
Do jackass!
Is this doing jackass? Like.
I couldn't see what everyone was doing. I just heard all this commotion, and Bam was up to something, and some sort of jackass fodder. We are at Bercy Stadium in Paris, and this is the band's big air event that I've done 4 years in a row, but I've never done it with a sprained ankle before, so that'll be exciting. I just told myself if I can make a heel flip, then it's on, because that means I can actually ollie. So you ready for this horrible attempt? Oh, okay, it's on. The event is at a big stadium here in France called Bercy. It's a motocross event where they just do big jumps and Supermans and all that crazy stuff. And they always have a vert ramp there, and they invite pro skaters and BMXers to ride it in between the moto events. And it's huge. The place is always full.
We basically had to drop in to impress.
Taskmaster burst the bionic zig splitter. Breakneck speeds, we drown 10 pints of bitter. We lean all day and some say they ain't productive. Could that depend upon the demon that you're stuck with? Cause right now, I see clearer than most. I sit here contented with this cheese on toast. I feel the pain of a third world famine. Said wait, we count them blessings and keep jamming. Tis him, scumbag, scum of the earth. His worth was nil until he gained the skill of tongues. From 15 years old, straight to my brain like so. Stay touch up material. Jerk chicken, jerk fish.
We've only just begun. It's gonna get better. We got so many parks to go to and so many good skaters coming on. The tour lineup for each West Coast and East Coast are all time. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better tour. Welcome to Trick Tips Volume 3, Secrets of Skate.
Wild! 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 Wild in the streets! Run it! Run it! Wild in the streets! Run it! Run it! Wild in the streets! Run it! Run it! Wild in the streets! Now in the heat of the summer, better call out a plumber. Turn on the steam pipe.
teenage jive, walking wreck, wild in the streets, running, running, wild in the streets, running, running, wild in the streets, running, running, wild in the streets, they're running wild in the streets.
Okay, half cabs. Half cab is basically a fakie to 180 ollie. You start off going backwards, do a little ollie, turn, and you end up riding forwards. And it's derived from a full cab, which is a 360 ollie, fakie to 360 ollie. 3 components. First one is your foot placement. Want to make sure your feet are set up basically like an ollie, kind of hovering over your tail as you start.
Next is your shoulder rotation. When you pop for the ollie, you have to make sure that the timing is proper so that you're rotating just as you pop. And as you rotate, it's important to remember that your leading arm will kind of guide you around for the half cab.
So once you pop, and if you've got the timing right, you're leaning, the 180 just happens on its own. I mean, the landing, it's all just sort of, it's all set up before you even do the trick, honestly. So that's about it, you know, and just we'll show you some, and we'll show you some common mistakes. Half cabs on vert. Half cabs on the vert are not that much different than on the street. The real difference is that you're on the wall and you have to ride down backwards. Half cab on street, you come out forward, but you're on one side of the wall, so you come up, you do a little fakie ollie, you give it a little turn, and you ride down backwards. It's a real subtle move. It's not that hard to do.
It's a great trick. It feels awesome. It's just a nice, smooth feeling.
And you can do it at any height. You can do it on the very bottom of the ramp or even up at the top. It's a little different move. The ollie is, you gotta ollie a little more when you're on the bottom because you don't have that vert to throw you out. And then as you get closer to the top, you just give it a little lift, little lift, and you're coming backwards. I'll show you some, I'll give you some pointers, I'll show you what not to do. Half cab, here we go.
Let's do this.
Approach the wall with your upper body turned in the direction you want to go. Do a slight ollie and turn while keeping your body over your board. Hover over it until you've rotated the full 180 and shift your weight towards your back in preparation for a landing. If you're feeling sassy with your half cab, get your grab on. You can try it mute, indie, or even go the other direction with a frontside half cab.
I showed you the frontside cab heel flip.
You did. I didn't do it, but you showed me it.
But at least I showed you.
Right.
You need to stop being lame about the 900 and just kick down.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know you were so amped on learning it.
Man, I've tried it. Foam pit, like, I haven't even tried it on the ramp yet. Like, I'm just...
Okay, first thing is when you go up, you got to commit to the spin. Even if you miss your board, even if you're like wondering what happened to you in the air, spin the 2.5 times, because if you open up, you're going to be on your back in the flat, knocked out, snoring. Right? So no matter what happens, if it doesn't feel right, just make your body do that spin and you can knee slide out. Right? I'd say when I'm gonna land one, when I decide I'm gonna land one, I make it maybe 1 out of 10. So I get a lot of that's it. I don't know. If you're gonna go learn 900s, send us a sponsor me video because we want to see it. All right? And that's it. Hi, I'm Tony Hawk. This is what happens when you take some of the world's best skateboarders and bikers and you travel to skate parks across the US in a big bus and let them run wild.
What's up? I'm Rick Thorne, the biker in black. I'm on the Tony Hawk tour, ready to kick some ass. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh,
hey, you alright?
Thanks a lot, Tony. I appreciate it.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. What's wrong with you, man?
Where's my nunchucks?
The only thing I anticipated for our tour in the beginning was that we'd get bigger crowds at skate parks than we've had in the past. And it was like, I didn't think we could fill them to capacity. And now, in our third year, it's like we're turning away half the people because they can't fit in the park. And it's been amazing to watch, but at the same time, it hasn't changed our priorities or our perspective. We're still there to skate our best. That's it.
This is not leg 2 to me, this is leg 1,000,000. Because I've been on this from the start, homie. From scratch. I paid my dues. This is just another walk in the park for Ellis, mate.
Everyone that threatened to come back came back, so we had to get another RV. But that's fine, because we're just going to show up and blow doors, you know?
You will not see this type of skateboarding ever again in your life. Because this is the first year guys all coming back, second year guys all coming back. There's so many skaters that are going to be going off, it's going to be tough to cover all of this.
Right from the beginning was good, man. Like, people just going crazy.
It was just easy to skate because there was like 5 different bars, 5 different hips.
We finally got to a place where we could skate like rails and stuff like that again.
The course is really big, and so that gave us a lot of opportunity to try different lines and jump around, and we still probably had too many people, but it didn't matter.
Chalmers stole the show. It was his demo, like Sumner did in Denver. Chalmers really took it over today.
He's one of those guys that's so smooth and whatever that sometimes you don't realize that he's ripping, you know?
Alex, again, created all these new transfers that no one probably thought of or done before.
He's just flying around and everything to him is easy.
Bam! Ah, like me! Yeah, Alice! These guys are just blowing themselves up, getting back up and doing it again. Meanwhile, Markovic is coming off the roll in. Okay, Markovic, transfer! Everyone's trying to explode themselves.
Oh my God!
I wanted to tell him to stop, but like, I know how it feels when you want to make something, so I just let him take the beating.
And then Markovic like gave up trying to do this huge transfer on the quarter pipe, couldn't get enough speed, breaking himself. Like, he seriously looked like a coal miner walking in on the bus because he's got no shirt on, just black from all the dirt.
The fact that Markovic, was in so much pain, got on the bus, got iced, rested, and then got back up, taped himself back up, and went back out, and then pulled the trick, man, that says a lot about the guy.
By far the most exciting, best raw demo that we've had.
What's up? I'm Jason Ellis. Welcome to the OP King of Skate, presented by Konami. We have 6 of the craziest stunts ever attempted by 6 of the best skateboarders in the world.
I have so many ideas of things like this on this magnitude, but it's all just coordination, money, and time.
Danny had kind of stated what his goal was, his longest air over the gap into the highest air, hopefully beating his own record of 16 feet.
To try and do something similar to motocross and snowboarding is a really fun thing to toy around with. The structure was designed to break 2 records at one time. The length of a gap jumped on a skateboard and the high air out of a vertical structure like a quarter pipe or a half pipe. My name's Danny Way. I'm a professional skateboarder, and this is my version of Cape Canaveral on the West Coast.
Tony Hawk is going to grind a rail that's on fire.
The whole fire thing is just aesthetics, you know, just light on fire. There's more of a danger aspect, and you never really see stuff like that, like some coping or rail that's flaming. So I think that'd be pretty cool. The stunt is heavy just because if one thing goes wrong, I either fall 20 feet or I catch on fire.
Tony will make it, no problem, but what's he gonna do on it? So I think Tony's gonna do something pretty difficult on this thing.
I'm filming Eric Costin trying to do this rail. So we figured we'd take Eric here and he could try to backside 50 it, but it's kind of a high rail for him to get on.
Street skating wouldn't look cool if it was in the middle of a field, a bunch of plywood and a homemade, ready to skate rail. That's just perfect.
I think he's one with himself sometimes when he's trying stuff.
Probability of me getting hurt or really percentage is pretty high. Or there's always a factor of ending up on your crotch. That's always a factor when it comes to handrails, especially the ones that are high. If your feet can't touch on one side or the other, the only thing that's going to support you is your balls.
Guys, welcome to my ramp. This is it in Vista. When I sat to think about what to do, I wanted to adapt the existing ramp into something else so it could be added to this already humongous thing.
Bob's gonna do a couple of setup airs here, land, come across the flat. Gonna come up right here. We have a metal piece of pipe that's gonna be about 3 feet above the deck. It's gonna slide across this 8-foot gap into a 45-degree bank, and he's gonna be facing this loop.
He'll incorporate vert, street, and whatever category the loop falls into.
I've seen guys do loops before. Bob's ramp, though, is gonna have a hinge in it at the top, which means we open it up and there's a gap. He's gonna try to air across this loop upside down.
If you make a mistake, it's a long way down. As a parent, you worry about it.
It's up, and I gotta do it. And there's nothing else. I just have to do it.
He's kind of an eccentric guy and he doesn't let on any more than he has to. I think just the whole renegade nature of it is, it really appealed to me.
Me and Ed came in last night. We already carried 10 sheets of bleeding ply up onto the roof.
That's pretty much like street skating at its best right there.
Right now, I don't feel like I'm pushing myself. I want to get into a zone where I'm happy, where I can walk away going, "Ah, man, I did something." When I go back to my starting point, there's a commitment there. The last thing I want to do is stand around and talk about it with you. I mean, it's like I could talk and not deliver. I'm about delivering, and I hope to deliver tonight.